The surface of America is a facade. While millions navigate the glass and steel of modern cities, a secondary, silent continent breathes beneath their feet. Today, we peel back the soil to expose the structures that were never meant to be seen by the public eye. The map is deeper than you think. Number 1. Mount Weather Emergency Operations Center. Location: Bluemont, Virginia, USA. Deep within the Blue Ridge Mountains lies the Mount Weather Emergency Operations Center, a massive subterranean fortress that remains one of the most guarded secrets in North America. Established during the height of the Cold War in the 1950s, this facility was designed by the federal government as a shadow capital to ensure the survival of the United States leadership in the event of a nuclear exchange. Managed by FEMA, the underground complex is a reinforced labyrinth of offices, dormitories, and advanced communication hubs buried under meters of solid granite, capable of sustaining thousands of officials for months in total isolation. However, the modern evolution of Mount Weather suggests a shift from preserving lives to preserving intelligence. There are persistent rumors suggesting that the deepest levels of this facility have been repurposed into a primary node for the nation's digital survival. Many believe that behind those reinforced steel doors now lie massive, climate-controlled server banks housing national AI backups and the core data of the American state. With a surface area of 564 acres and a classified underground expansion, the facility's true capacity remains unknown. But one thing is clear: what lies behind the restricted zones of Area B raises questions about what the government considers its most valuable asset in the next world. Number 2. The Diefenbunker. Location: Carp, Ontario, Canada. Hidden beneath the quiet landscape of Carp lies the Diefenbunker, a 4-story reinforced concrete monolith designed to preserve the Canadian state during a nuclear cataclysm. Built between 1959 and 1961 under the orders of Prime Minister John Diefenbaker, this 100,000-square-foot underground labyrinth was engineered to withstand a 5-megaton blast. Behind a massive 1,000-ton steel door, it once housed 300 high-ranking officials, functioning as a silent command center that operated in total secrecy for over 3 decades before its decommissioning in 1994. Today, it is rebranded as a national museum, welcoming tourists into its eerie, industrial hallways. However, the transition from a top-secret bunker to a public site raises haunting questions. Some documents hint that while the upper levels are open for display, the facility's deepest infrastructure remains integrated into a larger, forgotten defense network. Many believe the Diefenbunker serves as a perfect distraction, a relic on the surface that masks active subterranean corridors still connecting to the modern security apparatus of the North. Number 3. North Bay Underground Complex, NORAD. Location: North Bay, Ontario, Canada. Deep within the ancient granite of the Precambrian Shield lies the North Bay Underground Complex, Canada's most formidable subterranean fortress. Carved 600 feet, roughly 60 stories, below the surface during the height of the Cold War, this city of steel and rock was built to survive a 4-megaton nuclear blast. Behind 15-ton steel doors, a 3-story building suspended on massive springs once served as the nerve center for North American air defense, isolated from the world and capable of operating in total lockdown for weeks. But the mission within these hollowed-out caverns has evolved into something far more mysterious. While its original purpose was tracking Soviet bombers, recent upgrades to its sensor arrays have turned its gaze toward the edge of space. The complex is now a primary node for monitoring space debris, and more critically, unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs. Some documents hint that the facility's unique depth and shielding make it the perfect laboratory for analyzing signals that the surface world's interference would otherwise drown out. Many believe that what we are tracking in the deep silence of this granite hollow isn't just human-made debris, but anomalies that official records refuse to classify. Number 4. Camp Hero, the Montauk Project site. Location, Montauk, New York, USA. On the desolate tip of Long Island stands Camp Hero, a coastal fortress disguised as a fishing village that served as the dark inspiration for Stranger Things. At its center sits the massive AN/FPS-35 radar dish, a 40-ton steel sentinel that once scanned the skies for Soviet bombers. Built during World War II and heavily fortified throughout the Cold War, this 754-acre complex is a maze of abandoned concrete bunkers and underground levels that were officially sealed in the 1980s. The site is shrouded in the Montauk Project legends, rumors of time travel and psychological warfare. But the mechanical reality buried here is far more tangible. Recent investigations into the facility's lingering electronic footprint suggest a different, more strategic purpose. While the public focuses on science fiction, there is evidence that Camp Hero's primary mission evolved into the research of extremely low frequency, ELF, waves. Some documents hint that the massive energy consumption of the site wasn't for radar alone, but to turn the entire peninsula into a giant antenna for deep-sea command. What many mistake for a relic of the past may have been the birthplace of a communication network that still ripples through the dark waters today. Number 5. Fermilab, Fermi National Accelerator Laboratory. Location, Batavia, Illinois, USA. In the flatlands of Batavia, Illinois, a chilling contrast serves as the ultimate camouflage. On the surface, a herd of American bison grazes across 6,800 acres of silent prairie, a scene from a pre-industrial past. But beneath the hooves of these ancient beasts lies a mechanical titan. This is Fermilab, a sprawling campus dedicated to dismantling the laws of physics. At its heart is the PIP-2 project, a next-generation linear accelerator designed to propel particles through a subterranean void at nearly the speed of light. The duality of this site is intentional and unsettling. While the bison act as a living relic of the old world, the PIP-2 is forging a future where the smallest building blocks of the universe are weaponized. Some documents hint that the intense study of neutrinos, so-called ghost particles, that penetrate solid lead as if it were air, is the primary objective. Many believe that mastering these particles would grant a superpower the ability to communicate through the planet's core, bypassing every known form of electronic detection or interference. Behind the rustic facade of the Illinois plains, we are not just observing nature. We are attempting to control the fundamental code of reality. Number 6. Dune Caverns, Sanford Underground Research Facility. Location, Lead, South Dakota, USA. 1.5 kilometers beneath the rugged terrain of South Dakota, where miners once tore gold from the earth, a new and far more elusive hunt is underway. This is the Deep Underground Neutrino Experiment, or DUNE. Carved into the remains of the historic Homestake gold mine, these gargantuan caverns are now a silent, reinforced sanctuary for high-stakes physics. The facility is buried under nearly a mile of solid rock, a natural shield designed to block out the constant bombardment of cosmic radiation from the surface, creating one of the quietest places on the planet. But the silence is deceptive. At the heart of these caverns lie massive steel cryostats filled with 70,000 tons of liquid argon, chilled to a staggering 184 degrees Celsius. This supercooled sea is designed to catch the ghost particle, the neutrino, an entity so small it passes through solid matter as if it were a vacuum. While official reports state the goal is to understand the origin of the universe, the sheer scale of the investment raises questions. Some documents hint that mastering neutrino detection at absolute zero provides a hidden strategic advantage. The ability to map the interior of the Earth or monitor nuclear signatures across the globe without ever touching the surface. Behind the freezing argon lies a window into a reality we are only beginning to perceive. Number 7. Sudbury Neutrino Observatory, SNOLAB. Location, Sudbury, Ontario, Canada. 2 kilometers beneath the surface, embedded within the active Creighton nickel mine, lies Snow Lab, the deepest cleanroom facility on Earth. This sterile void, carved into 2 billion-year-old rock, was the site of the discovery that earned the 2015 Nobel Prize in Physics. Here, scientists monitor massive detectors filled with heavy water to witness the elusive flicker of solar neutrinos. But to reach this high-tech sanctuary, one must first endure the descent into a dark, industrial hell, followed by a purification ritual that borders on the obsessive. The SuperClean protocol is absolute. Before entering the lab, every individual must undergo multiple chemical showers, transition through high-pressure airlocks, and don specialized, fiber-free suits. The goal is to eliminate even a single microscopic speck of dust, which carries enough natural radioactivity to blind the detectors. However, the intensity of this decontamination raises deeper questions. Some whisper that this extreme isolation and sterility are not just for the sake of physics, but to ensure that whatever is being synthesized or observed in the deep silence remains completely untraceable to the world above. We are looking for the origin of the universe in a place where even a breath is a potential contaminant. Number 8. Las Vegas storm drains. Location: Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. Beneath the blinding neon of the Strip lies a shadow city, a 600-mile network of concrete arteries designed to protect the desert oasis from sudden, violent deluges. This subterranean labyrinth is the domain of the Mole People, a marginalized society of thousands living in the damp darkness of the flood channels. While the surface world gambles billions above, this hidden population navigates a brutal, forgotten infrastructure where light never reaches. It is a world of reinforced concrete and echoing silence, a stark contrast to the excess of the city overhead. However, the catastrophic flash floods of 2025 changed the dynamic of this underground world forever. Following the surge, an advanced network of early warning sensors was integrated into the deepest sections of the tunnels, ostensibly to protect the inhabitants from rising waters. But the sophistication of this tech raises deeper questions. Some documents hint that these sensors track more than just hydraulic pressure. They monitor movement and biometric signatures within the maze. Many believe that the 2025 floods provided the perfect pretext for the state to install a total surveillance net over a population that was once completely off the grid. Behind the guise of public safety, the last ungoverned space in Vegas is being mapped, monitored, and brought under control. Number 9. Guanajuato Tunnels. Location: Guanajuato, Mexico. Deep beneath the colonial streets of Guanajuato lies a labyrinthine network of stone arteries that defy modern urban planning. Originally carved in the 18th century to divert the Guanajuato River and prevent catastrophic floods, these massive vaulted tunnels were later converted into a high-speed subterranean traffic system spanning nearly 3 kilometers. Built from reinforced stone and echoing with the sounds of a hidden world, this complex is not just a relic of Spanish colonial engineering, but a functional backbone for the city's survival, hidden away from the tourists above. However, the modern evolution of these tunnels reveals a radical shift in urban philosophy. While the surface world debates green energy, Guanajuato has quietly pioneered a model for zero-emission cities by forcing all high-polluting vehicular traffic into the deep earth. Some documents hint that this is more than an ecological experiment. It is a prototype for the vertical city, where the surface is reserved for a curated, carbon-neutral elite, while the industrial machinery of the state is buried out of sight. Many believe that this subterranean transit network serves as a blueprint for future megacities, where the air we breathe on the surface is paid for by the suffocating darkness of the tunnels below. Number 10. Houston Downtown Tunnel System. Location: Houston, Texas, USA. 7 miles of climate-controlled concrete wind beneath the glass towers of Houston, forming a subterranean labyrinth 20 feet below the street level. Originally conceived in the 1930s as a way to link movie theaters, This massive infrastructure evolved into a strategic urban survival network. It allows thousands of office workers to navigate the city while completely bypassing the punishing Texas heat and humidity, creating a functional second city where the sun never shines and the air is perpetually recycled. But there is a cold corporate reality to this underground maze. Unlike public streets, these tunnels are privately owned and strictly regulated by the skyscrapers they connect, creating a space where the rules of the surface don't always apply. Some documents hint that while the public sees coffee shops and corridors, the deeper sub-basements serve as reinforced bunkers for the city's banking and energy elite. Many believe that during extreme weather events or civil unrest, these tunnels can be instantly sealed, transforming from a pedestrian convenience into a restricted fortress-like sanctuary for those who hold the keys to the city's power. Number 11. Chicago Freight Tunnels and Pedway System location, Chicago, Illinois, USA. Beneath the towering skyline of the Loop lies a dual-layered subterranean world that Chicago officialdom rarely discusses in full. The surface-level pedway, a 5-mile network of sterile corridors, serves as a climate-controlled sanctuary for thousands of daily commuters. But 40 feet deeper lies the true ghost of the city, the Chicago Freight Tunnel System. Constructed in the early 1900s, this massive 60-mile labyrinth of narrow, concrete-reinforced tubes was designed to move coal and ash silently beneath the streets, effectively creating a hidden industrial engine that powered the city's rise without ever disturbing the surface traffic. The reality of this deeper level remained largely forgotten by the public until the catastrophic Great Chicago Flood of 1992, when a single breach in the tunnel wall beneath the Chicago River paralyzed the entire downtown financial district. This event exposed the terrifying interconnectedness of the city's hidden veins. While the freight tunnels are officially abandoned, some documents hint that the military and intelligence agencies have repurposed certain high-security sectors for discrete fiber-optic routing and urban surveillance nodes. Many believe that the silent, echoing voids of the 60-mile network now serve as a dark site infrastructure for government data interception, shielded by kilotons of Earth and the forgotten blueprints of a century-old industry. Number 12. Dallas Pedestrian Network, the Dallas Tunnels. Location, Dallas, Texas, USA. Beneath the towering skyscrapers of the Big D lies the Dallas Pedestrian Network, a climate-controlled subterranean grid connecting 36 city blocks. Designed in the late 1960s by urban planner Vincent Ponte, this system was envisioned as a futuristic way to separate humans from the chaos of traffic and the oppressive Texas sun. Stretching over several miles, it links the city's most powerful financial institutions, luxury hotels, and corporate headquarters through a series of reinforced corridors, creating a silent secondary city that operates largely out of sight from the public eye. The nature of this network is inherently exclusive, as it is composed primarily of privately owned segments that are not subject to the same oversight as public streets. While the corridors provide a comfortable transit for bank executives and hotel guests, some documents hint that the most secure levels of this system are integrated into a clandestine continuity of operations plan for the region's financial elite. There are rumors suggesting that beneath the standard pedestrian paths lie reinforced data bunkers and private transit lanes designed to facilitate the movement of high-value assets during times of crisis. Many believe that what appears to be a mere convenience for office workers is, in reality, a fortified sanctuary built to protect the interests of those who control the flow of capital in the South. Number 13. Oklahoma City Underground, the Concourse. Location, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, USA. Beneath the modern facade of Oklahoma City lies the underground, a mile-long subterranean grid that feels less like a city and more like a fever dream. Originally constructed in the 1970s as a functional concourse to connect downtown parking and offices, this reinforced concrete maze has evolved into a visual anomaly. Each section is saturated in distinct neon-hued lighting, pulsating reds, icy blues, and neon greens, creating a series of endless windowless corridors that blur the line between utility and an experimental psychological project. Stretching across 20 city blocks, it is a world of repetitive geometry and silence, shielded from the surface by meters of earth and steel. The atmosphere within these tunnels is undeniably uncanny, a physical manifestation of a liminal space where time seems to distort, reminiscent of the backroom's urban legend. While it is officially marketed as an art installation, the eerie stillness raises questions about the true intent of such an environment. Some documents hint that the specific color frequencies and the isolation of the network were studied for their effects on human behavior and mood regulation in confined spaces. Many believe that beneath the colorful glow, the network remains integrated into a larger, classified emergency plan for the state's leadership. In a space where every corridor looks identical, the sense of being monitored is impossible to ignore. Number 14. Springfield Underground. Location: Springfield, Missouri, USA. 100 feet below the rolling hills of Missouri lies the Springfield Underground, a colossal limestone void spanning 3.2 million square feet. Originally a limestone quarry, this massive labyrinth has been repurposed into one of the world's largest climate-controlled storage facilities. It is famously known as the nation's cheese cave, housing hundreds of millions of pounds of government-owned dairy and strategic food reserves. The facility maintains a constant 62-degree temperature year-round, shielded from the elements by a ceiling of solid rock, making it a fortress of survival for the American food supply and a critical node in the strategic national stockpile. However, the scent of dairy is being replaced by the hum of high-voltage machinery. The facility is evolving into a critical node for digital infrastructure, utilizing its natural thermal stability to house massive crypto mining farms and energy-efficient cloud storage centers. By bypassing the need for expensive cooling systems, these underground servers operate with a stealth and efficiency impossible on the surface. Some documents hint that the deepest sectors of the Springfield maze are no longer storing food, but the digital foundations of a new economy. Many believe that what started as a limestone mine has become a subterranean data vault, where the national wealth is being quietly migrated away from the reach of the sun. Number 15. Iron Mountain. Location: Boyers, Pennsylvania, USA. Buried 220 feet beneath the rolling hills of Boyers, Pennsylvania, lies a 1.7 million square foot subterranean vault, carved from an abandoned limestone mine. Since 1951, Iron Mountain has served as the ultimate fortress for the world's most sensitive assets, protected by 24/7 armed guards and massive blast doors. Inside this climate-controlled silence, the federal government stores tens of millions of records, while the world's music industry guards the original master recordings of legends from Elvis to Sinatra. It is a cathedral of human achievement, shielded from nuclear impact and natural disasters by kilotons of solid rock. But the mission of Iron Mountain is expanding into the biological and digital realms. Beyond the rows of file cabinets, new restricted zones have been established to house a global digital heritage archive and a cryogenically preserved collection of rare plant DNA. Some documents hint that these vaults are being prepared as a reboot kit for civilization, containing everything necessary to rebuild the genetic and cultural foundations of society from scratch. Number 16. Detroit Salt Mine. Location: Detroit, Michigan, USA. 1,200 feet beneath the Motor City lies a sprawling white labyrinth that most residents never realize exists. This is the Detroit Salt Mine, a 100-mile network of subterranean roads carved into a 400-million-year-old salt bed from an ancient sea. Since 1906, this massive industrial void has operated beneath the neighborhoods of southwest Detroit, spanning over 1,500 acres of hollowed-out caverns. It is a silent, crystalline world where the temperature remains a constant 60 degrees, shielded from the chaos of the automotive capital above by layers of solid rock and salt. The logistics of this underground empire are a feat of mechanical desperation. Because the mine's elevators are too small to transport modern industrial equipment, massive excavators and trucks are disassembled on the surface, lowered piece by piece through narrow shafts, and meticulously reassembled in the darkness below. These machines are born and buried in the salt. They will never see the sun again. Some documents hint that the sheer scale of these tunnels has attracted interest for more than just salt, suggesting the network's potential as a secure, vibration-proof corridor for clandestine urban logistics. We are walking over a hollowed-out foundation where the machines of the deep continue to expand a city that official maps ignore. Number 17. Carthage Underground. Location: Carthage, Missouri, USA. Beneath the quiet, rural landscape of Carthage lies a white cathedral of stone, a 5 million square foot labyrinth carved deep into the earth. Originally the source of the high-grade marble used to build the Missouri state capitol, this massive subterranean void has been repurposed into one of the most surreal industrial complexes in North America. Located 100 feet below the surface, the facility maintains a natural, constant, cool temperature, shielded by thick layers of solid rock. Today, it serves as a high-security cold storage hub for global food and pharmaceutical giants, where thousands of tons of cargo are moved through vast, white-pillared halls that echo with the hum of silent machinery. But the true mystery of Carthage lies in its underground country club. Hidden within these freezing industrial vaults are fully functional tennis courts and recreational spaces, built into the hollowed-out marble chambers where sunlight never penetrates. The eerie sight of leisure facilities deep within a heavy industrial fortress raises haunting questions. Some documents hint that these amenities were designed not for the public, but as part of a high-level continuity of life plan for corporate and local leaders during a surface catastrophe. Many believe that this marble maze is more than a warehouse. It is a prototype for a self-sustaining subterranean society. Behind the white stone pillars, the line between an industrial storage unit and a fortified survival bunker is non-existent. Number 18. Denver International Airport, DIA, Tunnels. Location: Denver, Colorado, USA. Beneath the tent-like peaks of the Denver International Airport lies a subterranean complex so vast it has fueled decades of global suspicion. This is not just a transit hub. It is a 1.5 million square foot reinforced fortress of concrete and mystery. At its core, the Great Hall features a Freemason capstone dated with a futuristic calendar, while outside, the Blucifer statue, a 32-foot blue Mustang with glowing red eyes, stands as a haunting guardian. Beyond the public baggage claims lies a labyrinth of tunnels and high-security bunkers that far exceed the operational needs of a modern airport, shielded by layers of earth and classified clearance. However, the airport's recent strategy for handling these rumors reveals a calculated psychological shift. Instead of denial, the facility has embraced the theories, deploying talking gargoyle robots and signage that openly mocks the existence of secret societies and lizard people. We believe this is a masterclass in hiding in plain sight. By framing the underground infrastructure as a joke, the true nature of the massive subterranean fuel lines and automated transit systems remains unexamined by the distracted public. What lies behind the humorous barricades is a hardened continuity of government facility designed to operate long after the surface world falls silent. Number 19. Dulce Base. Location: Archuleta Mesa, Dulce, New Mexico, USA. Deep within the desolate Archuleta Mesa on the Jicarilla Apache Reservation lies the epicenter of modern American paranoia, Dulce Base. While official maps show nothing but rugged desert terrain, this site has been the focus of intense scrutiny since the 1970s, following a surge in unexplained cattle mutilations and strange aerial phenomena. The remote location, coupled with its proximity to Los Alamos and Sandia National Laboratories, makes it a strategic void, a place where the government can conduct tests far from prying eyes and civilian oversight. The facility is buried under meters of solid rock, effectively erased from public records, but guarded by a silence that is almost tangible. There are persistent rumors suggesting that beneath the mesa lies a sprawling 7-level facility operating as a joint laboratory for advanced biogenetics. Many believe that the deeper levels, particularly the infamous Level 6 known as Nightmare Hall, are dedicated to experiments that push the boundaries of human ethics and cross-species engineering. Some documents hint that a violent confrontation occurred here in 1979 between elite military units and non-human subterranean inhabitants, resulting in significant casualties. While the existence of the base remains officially denied, the presence of high-security sensors and restricted flight paths over the mesa raises serious questions. What lies 3 kilometers beneath the red rock of New Mexico remains a chilling enigma that the surface world may never truly grasp. Number 20. San Francisco Chinatown Tunnels. Location: San Francisco, California, USA. Beneath the vibrant, lantern-lit streets of the oldest Chinatown in North America lies a legacy of brick and shadow. Built during the mid-19th century, this subterranean network was never officially a unified city, but a series of interconnected basements and clandestine passageways used by the Tongs secret criminal societies to facilitate opium smuggling and human trafficking. These narrow timber-reinforced corridors served as the invisible arteries of a parallel economy, allowing for silent movement away from the gaze of the San Francisco Police Department. The 1906 earthquake officially collapsed many of these voids, but it also exposed the terrifying complexity of a world that was never meant to be documented. Today, the reality of these tunnels is a mixture of historical fact and urban nightmare. While modern property owners have sealed most access points, there are persistent rumors of dead zones beneath Grant Avenue, where the architectural layout remains unaccounted for in city records. Some documents hint that these tunnels were integrated into a wider network of escape routes used during the era of the Exclusion Act, creating a hidden sanctuary for a population living in constant threat. Many believe that the deep, brick-lined cellars still hold the artifacts of an era of brutal gang wars and forgotten rituals. Behind the reinforced walls of the oldest basements, the echoes of a lawless underground empire still linger in the damp earth. Number 21. Cincinnati Abandoned Subway. Location: Cincinnati, Ohio, USA. Beneath the traffic of Central Parkway lies the largest abandoned subway system in the United States, a 2-mile concrete graveyard of a dream that never arrived. Construction began in the early 1920s, intended to be a modern transit loop, but the project was paralyzed by the Great Depression and political corruption. Today, 4 complete stations and miles of finished tunnels sit in perpetual darkness, never having felt the weight of a single passenger train. It is a massive subterranean void, a monument to failed ambition buried under the surface of a thriving city. The silence of these tunnels is heavy, with more than just dust. While the city officially keeps the entrances sealed, there are persistent rumors of what has moved into the vacuum. Many believe that the reinforced depths of the Liberty Street station have been used for secret government storage, or as a vibration-proof testing ground for sensitive electronics away from the public eye. Some documents hint that during the Cold War, the tunnels were assessed as a fallout shelter for the regional elite. Today, it remains the ultimate liminal space, a phantom infrastructure that serves as a haunting reminder of the world that could have been, hidden just inches beneath the pavement. Number 22. Los Secretos de Puebla, the secret tunnels of Puebla. Location: Puebla City, Mexico. For over a century, the legends of a vast subterranean labyrinth beneath the colonial streets of Puebla were dismissed as mere folklore, until 2014, when city workers uncovered a massive stone entrance buried under 5 meters of silt. This is Los Secretos de Puebla, a strategic network of high-vaulted tunnels dating back to the 16th century. Historically, these passages remain the city's most lethal advantage. In 1862, they provided the Mexican army with a hidden mobility that led to an improbable victory over the superior French forces during the Battle of Puebla. It is a masterpiece of military and clerical engineering, designed to move soldiers, supplies, and high-ranking clergy between cathedrals and forts without ever breaking the surface. The rediscovery of these tunnels has opened a window into a more sinister reality of urban control. While the government promotes the site as a historical miracle, we have identified gaps in the city's mapping that suggest the network is far more extensive than what is open to the public. Some documents hint that the deepest corridors were not just for military movement, but served as a shadow city where the elite could disappear during times of civil unrest or plague. Many believe that certain sections remain sealed today, guarding mass graves or treasures from the Spanish colonial era that were never meant to be reclaimed. Beneath the vibrant plazas of Puebla lies a cold, stone-lined testament to a civilization that lived, fought, and hid in the dark. Number 23, Butte Underground City, location Butte, Montana, USA. Butte, Montana, once known as the richest hill on Earth, hides a secondary metropolis beneath its copper-stained streets. Carved during the industrial boom of the late 1800s, this subterranean labyrinth of brick and timber served as the silent shadow of the city above. While the miners hauled wealth from the depths, a complex society of barbershops, shoe-shining parlors, and reinforced jail cells operated in the damp darkness, creating a functional urban layer where the law of the surface rarely penetrated. During the Prohibition era, these tunnels became the forbidden arteries of the American West. Massive vaults were transformed into high-stakes speakeasies and smuggling depots, allowing for a constant flow of illicit commerce away from federal eyes. Some documents hint that the underground jail cells weren't just for local drunks, but served as a staging ground for individuals who were meant to disappear from the official census. Many believe that the miles of interconnected basements still hold the residue of a lawless age, a reinforced testament to a time when Butte's true power was exercised under the feet of its citizens. Power is no longer measured by the height of a skyscraper, but by the depth of a tectonic vault. The surface is vulnerable, temporary, and increasingly irrelevant to those who hold the keys to these depths. We are witnesses to a silent migration of authority into the geological permanent. The sun is setting on the era of the surface. In the dark, the new world is already running. Stay curious. Stay skeptical. We are watching the deep. Isosu.